excited.
It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Well, hello, my friends. We meet again on Two Guys and a Goalie. It is brought to you by GS Construction, where they are hiring now. They are hiring always. And on top of that, they've been around the community for, I don't know, how about over 50 years? More than 5 decades, GS Construction has been proud to serve our communities and work alongside incredible people. Help Edmonton grow for over 50 years. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more details. Gager, how about me trying your garlic toast out of nowhere?
Yeah, there was green on it, Cass, and
I was a little worried about that, Cass, not gonna lie.
You would have thought old Superman over here thought it was kryptonite, but he hit it, and we got the thumbs up from the big man. So
there you go. Step in the right direction.
So we got to thank. I should have saved some for you. I don't know who stole all the. Didn't steal it, but
Zach.
I think Eric took the rest of the garlic home.
Oh yeah, he does love garlic.
He does. So I took some, but I put it in the fridge originally, just to keep it in there. But
is that Bones' garlic?
Bones' garlic is on this. It's phenomenal. You should see these bulbs, Cass. So next time I'll save some for you. But I brought in my little garlic roaster. And, you know, this time of year, everyone's burnt the candle at both ends for a little bit just to guard against a little sickness. Our breath's going to be horrible around here. But, yeah, we got some garlic.
What's a garlic roaster?
It's where you roast garlic.
Yeah, I know, but there's a specific pot or pan or something?
I have an electric garlic roaster.
It's just for garlic.
Yeah, well, you can put other things in there. But, yeah, it's in the shape of a garlic bulb. It's in the kitchen. I brought it in.
And then you just sit.
Do you
in there?
Do you do a little olive oil in there?
Yeah, I bought some from the Italian Center. A little
there you go.
A pepperoncino oil sprinkled over there, so give it a little bit of spice. And then it does it perfectly. Like when you take them out of the bulb too, I leave the skin on in the roaster because then it doesn't burn, and you just kind of squeeze them out.
After.
Yeah, you just squeeze them out, and that was
the bulb.
That was the initial spread on the nice
if you're
loaf from the Italian Center.
I could tell that was Italian Center loaf. Oh. I was at the Italian Center 2 hours ago.
I love that place.
I do. You know what?
So good.
Can I tell you what I thought today when I walked into the Italian Center? So I walked in. I picked up. I got to make dinner tonight.
Okay.
So we're having pasta from the Italian Center. The Massimo Heat and Serve. Then I went over to get a bag of salad and a loaf of garlic bread, actually. And but then when I was in there, I was walking over to like the produce section. And it just made me feel like I was in Switzerland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like just like when we get into, when I was doing Spengler, you go in and the first thing we do is go to like this little sort of grocery store next to the hotel just to get, I would get meats, cheeses, and chocolates. And, but it kind of felt like that when I was in it today. I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, it's the Italian Center. So I thought about that. I was going to bring that up with you today. It's funny you brought that up.
Oh, it's an enjoyment of my day going in there because you walk in.
You sound like you're there every single day.
Not every day. I can't.
Almost.
But I might just go get one item, right? That's fine. But you go in and you see the chips, and then there's usually some for sale items, some gnocchi that I might grab because it's very reasonably priced. Then everyone's sitting there. And if you look at the tables of everyone in there, everyone's smiling.
Oh, they're so happy.
Everyone's so happy.
They're so
and then
happy.
you walk down the suites, and you gotta hug the left hand side, or else you're going in there. And then I get to the fresh bread sections, and then you get to the meats and the cheeses. And
the deli's the danger area.
Yeah, that's
the danger. So I go to the Sherwood Park one because that's and it's
we know the Sherwood Park. They're good dudes,
awesome dudes, and we have an office that's next door. So same parking lot.
Okay.
Oh no.
And so when I'm in meetings in Sherwood Park and stuff, or if I don't have to come downtown, it's like a magnet. It's like I can't go home without stopping in. And they're always really good, always helpful. If you're into cheeses, always really good about the different cheeses and cheese pairings. But those delis are deadly. I just can't. Like, there's just so much good stuff that's not from here. They're fantastic. I was going to say with the garlic, roasting that garlic, Gager.
Yeah.
So this would be like where we can eventually maybe turn Dusty into Big Boy. Is actually there's a new method that I didn't figure out, but I saw. My wife actually showed me. I don't know if it was an Instagram or a TikTok or a Facebook or I don't know, one of those video things of people doing like they called it like basically like a gyro kebab, but you can spice it. So you basically can do homemade donaire, and it's super, super easy. But if you do make your own donaire sauce with roasted garlic like that, like so you squeeze those bad boys out into your evaporated milk, a bunch of vinegar in there. Oh, using powder, deadly.
Donaire sauce has garlic in it?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Like the sweet sauce?
A lot of garlic. Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's a garlic.
Powdered
It's like
garlic. Like usually
it's powdered garlic, like usually sweetened condensed milk and, or just evaporated milk or just condensed milk, depending on where you're getting it. And white vinegar. And that's it.
See, I did the white vinegar, but then I went apple cider instead. I found it to be.
Yeah. You get a little bit more.
For what? For your donaire sauce?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Way better.
I had
a little bit more
the
bite to
Donaire
it.
burger at First Round over the weekend.
Which one?
At the mall.
Yeah.
We were at the mall. So we had a First Round there, and I had like their Donaire burger.
Oh, yeah.
Just
How was it?
Beef patty, Donaire meat, sweet sauce on a naan bread bun.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty good.
I bet.
Yeah, it was like what you would expect, combining a burger and a Donaire. It was actually pretty good. Brent over on the YouTube chat. And if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us, Two Guys A Goalie. Presented by Sandman's crew over at GS Construction. I met Kassian at the Sherwood Park Italian Center at the deli counter. I made it awkward, and I asked for a pic. So that's
I remember
nice.
that. No, with Brett there. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. You know what? It's a good place for it because it's like a happy place. Like I'm not going to be
That's
in a
the
bad
thing.
mood.
Everybody's
there.
so happy at Italian
Right.
Center, man.
If you're in a bad mood, just go in there and for a coffee.
Oh, that's a good point.
And
Go in for a pastry.
Oh gosh.
Hey,
man.
get yourself a pastry and something warm to drink and just sit there.
It's a perfect spot. It reminds me of going to Europe, living in Europe for a long time because that's what it was, right? And Dusty even tried balsamic glaze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I sort of panic. I panic bit it, right? Because you were holding it up and nobody else was like, "Oh, I'm going to bite this." And then somebody's like, "Dusty, you do it." I was like, "I'm in." So I didn't have time to be like, "What am I eating here? What's this green leaf? And what's the balsamic glaze?" And I don't know what my favorite. What was the meat on there? You said
Speck.
speck.
Yeah.
All right. So there was speck on there.
Yeah.
I think the cheese. There was so much cheese on the bite I had. I think I mostly just felt like they tasted the cheese.
Yeah.
Which I was a big fan. What type of cheese was that?
That's a creamy Havarti.
A creamy Havarti. Okay. Well, I like creamy Havarti heated up cheese.
Yeah, it's hard not to like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But I'm glad you made something for Boise because when I was at Italian Center, I thought, maybe I'll pick up a couple of take and bakes.
Oh,
just pizzas. The guys can throw them in and kind of munch on them through the afternoon.
no,
didn't
Bones gave all that garlic and it was sitting there. I made the mistake of not telling, I guess, everyone that it was still available because it was everyone was ravenous and taking some of that home, which is good. But I thought with the few that we had left in here, I would just make some garlic bread. Who doesn't like garlic bread?
Everybody likes garlic bread, eh? It's
Yeah.
easy peasy. All right, we'll get to some texts. Big Maple text in. This is Cass. I'll meet you at the Sherwood Park Italian Center this week, and we can Lady and the Tramp a hot panino by the Olive Bar. I'm there at least weekly, so that's a good one. Over on YouTube, let's see a couple things here. 83 Runner says, Dusty has been to a produce section. Was he lost? The Nuggets are on the other side of the store. I worked in produce for years. I know a lot about the produce section, and I was just going in to pick up a bag of Caesar salad, so it's not like I was going around and smelling melons or something like that. Penner's Pancake says, I think Cass's New Year's resolution was to top Tommy for the best hair at EST. It is on point today. Cass, you feeling like you're having a good hair day or what?
I feel it turned out okay. I'm getting a little poofy around the edges. Like I need to get it cleaned up here again soon. But that's good. Hey, good to hear. Good compliments. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Everybody's in a good mood today. We're just talking about the Italian Center, and people are all cheery and complimenting everybody. It's great.
Have you ever had a bad experience there? No.
Even if because sometimes it can get pretty busy there.
Yeah.
But even sometimes if you're waiting for the bakery or the deli or whatever, you're still happy because you're in there like having a great experience. So it's nice.
So do you know what I had to go get the meat. Do you know what number I was? And I was mad about it?
6'7".
6'6".
I did.
You should have just double pulled.
I know, but
double pulled.
I was like, I got to get to the studio or whatever.
Did you watch the person who pulled 6'7"?
No, I was done by that. And
I wish it was a little old lady who came over and you saw her pull 6'7", and then
6'7".
and then she didn't want to but you look at her, she goes like this.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, my goal, I might just stay in there till I can get 6'7". I'll stand right beside it.
Have you seen?
And then you get in front of somebody.
Have you guys seen those videos where there's like a bunch of fast food places in the States?
Yeah,
like,
they're
there's
not
like
doing
5
it. They're
guys
not
in
putting 6'7"
like,
up.
Yeah, they're not putting it up because it just people get too nuts, which is crazy. Which is crazy. They had all that stuff. They had all that stuff. My daughter loved it at the game on Saturday against the Flyers. Like because they did. It was
game, wasn't it?
Kids takeover.
Yeah.
So they had like a bunch of 6'7" videos, and my daughter's just doing that, and I'm like, all right.
I don't know if I told you guys. I mentioned to somebody at one of Marshall's games over the last week. The clock stopped at 6.7 seconds. And I'm sitting there in the crowd, and I looked and I saw it, and I was just like, oh. And then I looked down, and like the whole bench is like, and there's a couple kids who were out on the ice waiting for the face-off. They're 9 and 10. They're like, and I look at Elizabeth, and she's sitting on the other side of Tammy. She looks at me. It's very amusing at this point for me.
So.
Like, I think it's kind of funny. It's
10 years from now, we'll still be laughing.
And if you want to make your kids laugh, like when one of my kids is getting married, I might drop it at the wedding somehow, and hopefully it'll still be hilarious then. It'll be a lot of fun.
Will be.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. All right, let's kill the mood here. Canada finishes with a bronze at the World Juniors. Cass, how much of a concern is this to you? They eliminate by Czechia back-to-back years in the quarterfinals. Now they lose to that same Czechia team in the semifinal. They take home the bronze yesterday against Finland, but obviously 3 straight years without playing in the gold medal game. First time I think that's happened since 1981. So people are a little bit concerned. How concerned are you? Is there a reason to be worried?
Is there a reason to be worried? Like I'm not freaking out concerned.
So you're not like if 10 is national summit, what are you at? Like a 7?
I'm at like a I think that's a fair 6 or 7. No, Lord. I'm going to get a 7. We'll just say I'm going to soft 7. Soft 7. My concern is more. I would say some of the roster construction, like the way that they're putting the teams together. The defense in particular for this one, where, I mean, how good would the Oilers be if you had 6 Evan Bouchards?
Yeah.
Maybe you're okay against teams, but when you're under too much pressure too frequently, like and that's what Czechia did, was just intense, aggressive, forechecking pressure. And they were just all over them, and they couldn't move the puck to save their life. Like it was like, oh, you mean we don't have time and space just to kind of wheel out and do what we want? And they fell apart. So I go, to me, the issue is more not that Canada doesn't have the ability, because you still could have fielded another team that was competitive in that tournament. Like, and that's the thing is like you, as Canada, you could probably field 2 teams, both who would have a chance to win. But roster construction, I mean, I don't understand the choice to go to 8 defensemen
in that game. Yeah.
Like why? Like I get 7, sure. Okay. All right. But if you go 6,
you're going to because you carry 7 anyway, right? So it's 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, 7 defensemen's fine, but it's like if you now go 8 defensemen, well, now from a minute standpoint, you're going to have guys that are either just sitting there not playing, or you just have guys that are used to getting minutes, used to playing all the time, that aren't, or people are just sitting there. And then you have a forward go down with an injury, and now all of a sudden you don't have nearly as many options. And if all your forwards aren't going, like you basically just concentrated it down to, guys that if they're not having a night, you can't do anything. Like you got to keep putting them out there. You don't have any other choice. And I don't know. The roster construction, I don't want to say completely baffled me, but there's a couple choices and a couple players that I don't think they took. And for some of the reasoning, I'm not a huge fan of. So I'll just one in particular, like a Jackson Smith, for example. So plays with McKenna at Penn State, Western kid, but he made the jump to the NCAA. Now, McKenna, you can't really ignore. It wasn't like they could say, hey, McKenna's not coming because he went to the NCAA. And I know they had a couple college guys there. Verhoff, I don't think they wanted to play, but he's played so well that they kind of were forced to had to have him on the roster in a lot of ways. But Smith, it was like, he was a guy they didn't bring. And he was one of the types of defensemen that they didn't have. Like a guy that's not just focused on offensive output, that's big. Kid's huge. He's like 6'5", 6'6", rangy, but plays like a solid, steady, very, very good defensive game. He chips in offensively. Yeah, absolutely. But he's just like the type of guy they didn't have. And the second that happened, I went, their NCAA bias is popping through here. And I all of a sudden started questioning, okay, well, how are they going to construct the rest of this roster? And yeah, and that's a Hockey Canada thing. That's a Hockey Canada thing. Again, you can't have 6-7 Bouchards on D.
Are you saying
that's where they lost the game?
Bouchards or 6 or 7 Bouchards?
6 or 7 Bouchards.
Okay, all right. Some people were questioning. You were saying 6 Evan Bouchards as opposed to
6-7
okay,
Bouchards.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Gager, what do you think of it?
I'd love to talk to, and I've had some discussions with Belzy and Tyrell Spitzer about their dealings with Hockey Canada and now how the leagues have separated and they don't get the type of treatment from Hockey Canada like they did prior. And it seems like Hockey Canada is.
I think Hockey Canada is probably pretty threatened by what those guys are doing.
Yeah,
right?
But it seems like they don't have the desire to work with these other leagues, right? Like they're looking at themselves as the big boy on campus, and we're the only game in town. Where I don't think that's always the best route to go. And like Cass said, if you're snubbing guys that are going to different leagues and you're not in the Hockey Canada path, I think that's the wrong. Who's that hurting the most? It's hurting the players, right? It doesn't really matter. So I'd love to get Spitzy and Belzy talking about this a little bit more, because I think there is a problem with Hockey Canada and how they deal with youth hockey right now. Just from some of the stories I've heard of guys leaving that Hockey Canada path, and then they're shunned now.
That's one of the questions I had, Cass. I was going to say is the way that like the various development models that are now popping up and the different ways that you can go when you can do an academy, you can do minor hockey, you can do the Super League into the JPHL. Is that helping things or is it hurting things from a, hey, let's go win gold at the World Junior perspective?
From a junior perspective?
Well, from like let's be the powerhouse junior team perspective.
This is such a nuanced and complex situation. It's nuanced and complex. Because the answer, I think it's the division is hurting it. But I think that division is the fault of Hockey Canada, and to the extent local minor hockey organizations for becoming way too entrenched politically over a really, really long period of time. Like we're going back like 15, 20, 30 years here. Beyond that, even. To the time when I was just a kid, beyond that even. So 40 years, you had 40 years of political systems that were overseen ultimately by Hockey Canada. So Hockey Canada, and then your provincial bodies, and then your local bodies. And it was so politically entrenched. And I suffered for that as a kid because my parents weren't involved in the politics of hockey. that people just got fed up with it. And that's where you started to see the splits and the prep programs come out, because people were like, no, this is dumb. You're trying to control way too much at a granular level what's going on, and it's not working. And that's where you had the explosion of prep programs. Now, the prep programs, they come with their own baggage, I think, not just from a development standpoint, but from a cost and an accessibility, and, not giving all the kids that I think maybe deserve an opportunity to play at the highest levels, an opportunity to play at the highest levels. So there's issues there as well. But the fracturing, I would say, more hurts than helps. But I would lay a lot of that blame at the feet of Hockey Canada, because I think, and Belzy would be able to speak into this way better than I could, because he's been involved with that process way more than I have. But my observation would be that it probably was 12 years ago to 15 years ago. So kind of on the way out for me, when I was finishing my NHL career, because I was around, especially right after I was helping out at Vimy Ridge in Edmonton, one of the hockey programs, and Nathan Dempsey was over there, and it was just helping out with their on ice stuff. And so I got to see it kind of as that shift was really happening. And Hockey Canada just fought stuff instead of embracing it. They tried to, again, get granular with the control level, and it just created all kinds of issues. And I think you still have fractures because of it. And it hurts you. It hurts you way more than it helps you.
Yeah, no, this is going to have to, we're probably have to have our own red wine summit with Belzy and Spitzy, Cass, and discuss the problems and fix them.
There's a lot of issues.
That could be a fun hangout at some point.
Yeah. That's almost like a series of hangouts.
Yeah.
In the summer, like 5 for a week, like a theme week, where you have different people in talking about the different development
theme
programs.
Week.
And
wow, Dusty.
Right? What do you think?
I like that.
Maddie, hangout theme week, mark it down. What do you think?
Feel free to book the guest.
Oh, here's my feel too. Zedmo says Gager prefers the politics of dancing.
Oh gosh, yeah. Isn't that a song?
That's probably pretty simple, I would think. Yeah, there's not a lot of that in dance.
It's pretty rough, actually.
My sister's involved. I know. Yeah,
it's weird. It's really weird. But this is her last year, so it's a little bit easier, I think. But you still bang your head against the wall against some stuff.
A couple other things to discuss with this World Junior group. Perek had caught at some fire for something that he said. Here's the quote that he said, because he was asked about why he's very easy to talk to and a lot of personality at the World Juniors. And his quote was, "I think it's more watching NHL guys be robots and not having any personality. I think you need some personality, and it's the best way to grow the game. I don't want to come in here and be a robot. When I'm in Calgary, I definitely have a lot of guys that are telling me to give really simple answers." So it is a little bit interesting where, as Canadian media that covers the National Hockey League, we're always like we say it, these guys are hockey robots. It's a lot of cliche answers and things like that. Then one of the players comes out and says, "I don't want to be a robot and I want to show some personality." And in Calgary, then he was getting criticized for basically saying, "Oh, you're saying all your teammates in Calgary are robots." And he had to come out and sort of apologize for that. Cass, what do you think on, one comment that obviously blew up a little bit for this kid?
Yeah, it sucks it blew up because he's not wrong. Guys are robots, and it's not. We're programmed that way, right? We're programmed that way, and locker room culture is that of robots. Don't give them anything. We'll deal with our own stuff in here, but just toe the party line, and we'll go play hockey. That for a long time has been a subculture in NHL locker rooms. It's been there, and he's not wrong. My wife would say it all the time because I make her watch. She watches. She'll see the interviews when I'm watching them, and she'll hear them, and she'll just be like, man, this is so dry all the time with guys over and over and over again. And every once in a while you'll have one that's not, and she's like, oh, that was way better. So it's it's funny. Is I agree with him that they are robotic in a lot of ways. Right now, I understand why they are, the reason that they are, guys, is exactly why he had to apologize for his comments. Because all it takes is one media person to all of a sudden say, oh, guess what he said? Guess what he said? He said his teammates in Calgary are robots. They don't have personalities and they suck. And I'm going to write an article on it, and then I'm going to ask Mackenzie Weegar about it. And now we're going to have some real juicy stuff that people are going to click on and listen to and read. And I understand that because it's like, it's media, it's a business. You're trying to get people to listen and pay attention. So you're selling it. But the whole reason that guys are robots is so that doesn't happen. And so it's such an interesting situation for me, because it's like, what he said was absolutely right, is you need to have more personality. It was great to have more personality
in the game. Like, yeah.
Right. It's fantastic too. However, what you can't say is that we need to have more personality. You should just do it. Right. Like just be it. Just do it. Just have that personality. You can't say anything about your teammates. But it's just it's such a funny, vicious little cycle. So Gage, I want to hear your thoughts on it too, because I don't think that has changed culturally in the NHL for well before you were playing too, where it's like you shut your mouth to the media and you give the boring rote answers, and you deal with stuff in the room. And the guy, says they need more personality and guys are robots, and all of a sudden it blows up and people try to drive a wedge between a young kid and his organization and his teammates because of it. So it's super interesting, guys.
Like you said, Cass, he's not wrong. But if I'm looking at from like a Flames management, I like that he said that, because I think he even mentioned himself. I'm not like this in Calgary. I'm kind of a new player, but here there's a confidence level that he has where he felt confident enough to kind of, now he can be himself. I think that's what you want from players. I mean, yeah, there's some boring interviews, and it's the same thing. And partly it's some of the questions that are asked. Sometimes they can probably be phrased in a little bit in a manner that might pry something out of certain players. Some players don't want to talk. They find it uncomfortable. And like I somewhat remember some of my first interviews, and they were terrible, right? I was give it 100%, get the puck deep, and hopefully we win at the end, right? Like it was just cliche after cliche after cliche. But then as I got older and a little bit more comfortable, I was able to articulate a little bit better. But I just find it so refreshing to see players, and you get a glimpse into their personality is actually really like, and not having repercussions of someone saying, "Oh, this is bad. He's on an island. He doesn't like his teammates." Like, no, that's not what he says. People got to quit being cream puffs with this stuff too.
Yeah. Well, some of it is questions, and questions are tricky, and it's hard to ask someone on your feet. Something I had to learn is like how to ask people better questions. I've got lots better at it.
It's hard too right after a game, Cass, because you're
yes.
Like how many times, like as I got older and after a game, maybe my team didn't play well. I wanted, in my mind, I'm talking to the coach. I'm having a team players only meeting. And then the next day I'm like, okay, Joaquin, relax. Like it's okay, but your mind and your adrenaline and you're just so fired up. It's almost like you can't even think clearly until you've had a little bit of time to kind of decompress from the game itself. So you're better able to manage those questions.
Yeah. I hope he brings his personality.
Tell me about, right? Like that's one of the,
yeah.
A lot of those, like, tell me about or talk about or
tell me about or explain
just ask
how.
A question.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Ask a question.
What it is? It's the open-ended questions when they're asked are so much better.
Yeah.
Like they tell me about this, what happened when, what were you thinking when, those as opposed to like the, this happened, didn't it? And it's
well, you could be a real dick and just go, "Yep, that happened."
Yeah,
but that's if you're asking questions that are yes or no answers, you're going to get yes or no answers. But it's tricky. There's an art to it for sure. And But there are guys, and you see it with some, like Matthias Ekholm's a pretty good, like he'll give more, like he'll unpack things a little bit more, but he still stays quite within the bounds. But there's a lot of media people that love him as an interview because he's going to give you a little bit more. And it's not going to feel as dry and monotone. So I hope this doesn't, like, I hope they don't force the kid to not have a personality. Like I hope he retains it here. Now, again, like there is wisdom and there's maturity in what you do say, because really, if he would have just said, hey, you know what, I'm a young guy in the NHL here. I'm not like the young guy anymore. So I, have the ability to just be a little bit more myself. I'm still learning there. Like if you go that way and say, hey, I'm still learning there. I have the ability to, just let my personality shine a little bit more here. He would have been totally fine. It was just that people, the articles that latched onto he's taking a dig and calling his Calgary teammates robots, when that's clearly not, like, that's not what he's saying. Like he didn't, you read the quote, you listen to it. It's like, he's not saying that. He wasn't like, oh, they're all robots. He's saying, it's like, no, they give more robotic answers. Like everything's a little more formulaic and careful. And he's like, well, no, that's, feels constricted by having to be that. But he's not saying that they're robots. And you know what, to a certain extent, from a playing standpoint, give me an NHL robot as a player. That's something I want for a majority of guys on my team. Like, give me the robots. Robots mean automatic. You know what you're going to get night in, night out. But I digress. It's this kind of crazy. I wish people wouldn't jump all over people and kids like this when, like, I hate that he had to apologize at all. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, off social media. Like Ike Howard's a perfect example. Like I remember when he got drafted, and he looked like Don Johnson.
He had the white suit on,
with the turtleneck, and he was, I'm the best looking guy here. Like that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
it was great.
God, this guy's so funny. I'd love to. Can't wait to see what type of player he is. But then they were like, what's Stamkos going to think about this guy? I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah. Let him be who he is.
Yeah.
Have the personality. Now you need to do it. You need to have personality, and you need to still respect your elders, as it were. Like respect your teammates, and you still need to respect the process, but you can't, or you shouldn't completely constrain. Now there's a wisdom in knowing when to let it shine and when to pull it back a little bit, right? Like there's wisdom in that, but you don't want to completely castrate it. Like it's just, let the boys have some fun.
Evan Bouchard over on YouTube says, not everyone needs to be an even Evan like me. Get your own thing. I don't know who runs like the Kasperi Kapanen and the Bouchard and the Kachuk accounts, but they do crack me up a little bit.
They do.
All right, so the Oilers in action tonight against the Nashville Predators, and Kapanen slated to return for the Edmonton Oilers alongside Leon Draisaitl. Gage, your thoughts on Kapanen having not played in quite some time, drawing in right back next to Leon?
I just remember when he was healthy scratched in the playoffs. He's been out for a while. We all saw him like decapitate a bunch of sticks as he seemed to re-aggravate whatever injury or ailment he had going at the time. So big body, skates really fast. Most of the time he's kind of productive when he first comes back too, it seems like. So I think it's a good, I like it. I want to see it. I want to see him flying around, laying the body, hopefully helping out something, but I don't think it's a permanent fix. This is kind of, it's
so he's not going to be locked in next to Leon like Podkolzin.
I don't think so. I think there's someone else needs to grab that spot and hold it, somewhat like Podkolzin's done.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm Kapanen and I look at this, obviously I'm going to be shot out of a cannon, but I want to figure out how am I like Sharpied in on the whiteboard every game beside Leon here for the rest of the season. What is it going to take with my game to be on the second line of the Edmonton Oilers, right? Figure that out. She's been here long enough. He should have an idea of what that's going to take, but let's just see if he can. I expect him to have a good game, though.
Cass, do you think Kapanen has what it takes to be that guy that can lock in that spot that Gage was just talking about?
Not permanently.
No.
He's in his time here. Like there's been times he's been very good. We've seen little spurts of it, and there's times he's just kind of been average. To me, he's a third line guy. He's a third and fourth line player. And that's not a bad thing. He's I think a very effective third or fourth line player. Man, like I'm thinking like pre-Podkolzin, like where Podkolzin, I was like, oh, Podkolzin's a third or fourth line guy. You don't want to play in a second, but he's been very, very good and effective in that position. So maybe it turns out he is, but he's got the speed too. I haven't seen him consistently, frequently enough put together good games in a row in his time in Edmonton to say he should be a guy that's on your top six, which is where he would be slotted in. He's got the speed to do it, but can he put the whole package together enough? I don't know. I lean away from that a little bit, more as a guy that you can have his spot duty in there. I guess we'll find out.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in on this conversation. James says Knobloch views Kapanen as a 15 to 20 goal scorer. I do believe he said that this week. I mean, I think he's maxed out at 13 in his career. Oh, he had 21 year in Toronto. If he was to lock in and play all 82 games alongside Leon Draisaitl, could he score 15 goals? He'd probably score 15 goals in 82 games alongside Leon Draisaitl. So, I mean, it's not that much of a reach in the quote, but they move things around so much that, we'll see how long he actually stays with them. The bottom six continues to struggle. Adam Henrique, no goals, 4 assists in the last 2 months and a little bit. Frederic, a goal and assist in the last 2 months and a little bit, and just 2 goals and 1 assist all season. Mangiapane and Frederic will be scratched tonight. Matthias Janmark has 3 goals in the last, since the beginning of last season. In the regular season, one of them was shot by a goaltender. So they're looking for something here, Cass. And we were throwing it around this morning. Like, if you wanted to actually find a third line that might be able to generate something for you, are you at a point now where you go Nugent Hopkins and Roslovic on your third line, and maybe Kapanen stays with Leon, and maybe Howard or Savoy gets to play with McDavid and Hyman, or do you just let the McDavid line cook and continue to, for the media and the fans, continue to bitch about the lack of something in the bottom six, and for Knobloch, continue to try a bunch of different combinations that simply just don't have the pieces that work? Like, what eventually has to give here?
Ooh, that's a big question, Dusty.
If you play Nuge as a third-line center, he's automatically one of the best third-line centers in the league.
Yep.
And you've got Roslovic, who can score goals on one side. Yep. And then, maybe you get Hudson back up here and play him there.
But what are you giving with Leon in that? That's is Leon, is whoever's playing with Leon and Podkolzin.
Savoy or Kapanen.
Yeah.
Right? Like Leon Draisaitl and Podkolzin are a good enough duo that, and then McDavid gets, they'll never do it because it would require McDavid getting Ike Howard, and Knobloch's more likely to put Janmark with them. So unless you're trading for a third line center, that guy's not on your roster right now, unless it's Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Well, it could be Matt Savoy, but you give a guy 8 minutes a game. That young line, that's something that disappointed me. Was that group got 8 minutes, because there was little flashes that I liked, but it's you just didn't play them. You didn't play them consistently,
and that's it.
In one game, half of their shifts were, it wasn't from a whistle. It was on the fly, and it was on the fly where someone from the Oilers had either chipped the puck out or dumped the puck in. So you were starting without possession. And so they were in forecheck mode. And I actually thought they moved pretty well on the forecheck. So we didn't see enough of it. But yeah, I'd be willing to give that a look to see. I say it all the time on the Oil Stream pre and post game show with Tommy, is the depth scoring isn't an issue until it's an issue. Right? When McDavid's clicking or Draisaitl's clicking and the power play is clicking and getting opportunities, well, then it doesn't matter. But when they're not, that's when you need that depth scoring to kick in, which is once every 3 games, once every 4 games, you need them to have a really good game. And we just haven't been seeing that. And I think it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg problem, because is it just personnel, or is it personnel and opportunity? Is it a mix of both? What's the reason? And I don't know that there's an absolute concrete one. I mean, he's probably a little bit of both. And does moving Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to that third line and Roslovic, does that solve that? Well, yeah. I mean, you're taking two guys that are top six guys that are capable of it and putting them on a line. So yes, that may very well solve it. Still need to actually get them on the ice and give them opportunity.
Yeah.
Really.
Still need to play them.
Yeah.
Still need to play them. And that's okay, well, will that actually happen? Because if there's a power play, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is going to be out there. And you're going to have someone else fill in for centerman. And then, and if you're down a goal in the game, there's going to be the nuclear option that's getting rolled out there. So it's just, I don't know. It's a conundrum, as it were. And I don't know. I'd be here to see that line, but I would probably be saying on the pregame show, I bet the line lasts 5 minutes, and so will we really see it? I don't know.
Is there a coach that doesn't go to the blend, like is hesitant to go to the blender? Like I watched other games
in the whole league.
Yeah, and I've watched other games and I've been like, okay, yeah, but what I am always taken back to the Panthers in the playoffs, in the Stanley Cup playoffs last year. They never changed the lines once.
No, just locked in.
Yeah,
their third line was their third line.
Yeah, that's it. But they got.
I love that. Have you seen the video of Maurice on the bench in the playoffs
when he was yelling, "Hit him"?
Yeah,
making plays. Yeah. You effers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that clip. I love that clip. And my wife heard me listen to it, and I was just like standing there, like smiling. I'm like, I love everything about me that loves hockey loves that clip. Like, and she's like, well, what do you mean? Like, how could he be like, that's kind of like, she was kind of like, oh, that's kind of like mean. And you're yelling at the guys and what, and I'm just like, no, you don't understand. Like he's like, and he is like the type of coach behind closed doors. It's like, he's always very soft with his players to the media. Maurice is very positive with his players to the media, but I do not doubt for a second that he is I know he is very demanding behind the scenes with his guys. Like he will hold you accountable and he will challenge you and he will point out things that you're not doing right. And then he'll go to bat for you out in front of everybody else. But he doesn't. A guy that is regarded by many as being the best or one of the best coaches in the NHL right now. He doesn't change his lines. He will on occasion, but he does seem to really stick with guys and just roll it, because when you have a line that's got an identity, that's know what's expected of them, that know what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to play, what the opportunity is going to be if they do, I think that communicates things quite clearly and it allows people to excel. I mean, that's a leadership thing, isn't it? Like if you went to Benny, Dusty, and you like, Benny never knew, like, is he going to be sitting in front of a camera? Is he going to be behind a desk? Is he just going to be answering the phones? Is he going to be going to, just to try to find new clients? Like, if you just kind of had him doing something different every day and moved him around spot to spot to spot, and you didn't tell him what was expected of him, how well is he actually going to be able to function at his job? Like he's not. And that's the same sort of thing when you move people around too much, especially for guys where it's like they're more role players. Is like, are they role players or are they not? I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting on a tangent here, but it's a bigger coaching thing. Sorry, I'll just stop.
Benny cuts up social media clips and keeps his mouth shut. That's
and wears hats
that's Benny roll. Well, a few of us wear hats backwards.
Yeah, but
here.
you change, you switch around. Benny's is always backwards.
His is always backwards, isn't it? Yeah. He's a big backwards hat kid. Must be the generation. But like, I think Cass makes a pretty good point, Gager, in the guys that they do have in the bottom six, even those guys are getting shuffled around, right? Like I get it. You can't get anything going, but when was the last time like a third line played together for 3 or 4 games in a row?
Never.
Right?
Never.
It just doesn't happen.
There's no, we were talking about the World Juniors identity. What is their identity? The Oilers, what is their identity? There's no, it's Leon and Connor.
Can I take a guess? It's an insanely good power play.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's really what it is.
Because you look at other power plays and like even Phillies, I was like, ugh, that is good thing they don't have a power play, but we've become numb to greatness on the power play. And it's been such a weapon and at times a crutch and it's kind of their Achilles heel for the Edmonton Oilers. But Cass, you would know better than I would in these types of situations. But when you're playing with the same guys every night, you start to you gel a lot more. And so when you have someone playing in the bottom six, where typically that role is energy and defensive responsibilities and making sure that trying to get a little bit of momentum, but then a lot of these guys are popped up on the first or second line and goes, oh, now I guess I got to score.
And
right
now
there.
you're back. Now you're back.
Now,
yeah.
and so that takes them out of their, I think, what would
Look
make
at
them the
Savoy,
most,
for example.
Yeah.
As a rookie, this is how he's getting tossed around the lineup.
He's going to have multiple personality disorder at the end of the year because he's been in every spot.
Do you want me to be Zach Hyman light, or do you want me to be Matthias Janmark?
Yeah.
Right?
Like what am I? Who am I?
Where am I? Yeah.
All right, let's do some hire it or fire it for GS Construction. More than 5 decades, GS Construction has been proud to serve our community and work alongside incredible people, helping Edmonton grow for over 50 years. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more details. Let's start here. Hire it or fire it. The Winnipeg Jets should tank for Connor McKenna, which, by the way, they are dead last right now. So stay the same for Connor McKenna, I guess.
Yeah, hire it. Yeah, they need a young star. I think it's been long enough. Hire it.
Cass, would you sell at the deadline to improve your chances of McKenna?
If they're still there at the deadline, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're there at the deadline.
Try to move.
Because it doesn't have to be like a full, we'll call it a full rebuild, right? It doesn't have to be that. But could you sell a little bit and say, hey, we'll probably finish down here?
The worry here is that as long as you're playing Connor Hellebuck, it might totally screw you out of
He's the one that
staying where
Carey Price
the
syndrome.
Carey Price thing.
Yeah. Well, he's not screwing it up yet.
No, not yet. It would be nice. They've got a really good line, but then you
Great
add
line.
McKenna to a group with Connor and Scheifele and stuff.
Well, it's like that Lowry. It's weird because they have Taze, who's
He'll be
past.
gone.
He'll be
Yeah.
gone. But Lowry, he's not. He's a really good center, but I don't think he's a second line center. No. He's the guy that can go up against the other big line and pot some goals. Like he went up against that McKinnon line a couple of years ago and was dominant, right? So you need. I think. I mean, you could say that to a lot of teams that have that problem of a solid second line center.
The Oilers should trade Mangiapane for Ryan Strome if they can make it work financially. Hire it or fire it.
Oh, boy.
This is not called "Oh Boy" for GS Construction. It's called. But now he's been scratched in Anaheim. He's got another year after this year at $5 million. You'd have to either have them retain a bid or send something else with Mangiapane. But Cash, would you rather have a aging third line center who might not do much, or an aging winger, or not an aging, but just a winger who's not doing much?
I'm going to fire it. You don't want to get older again.
He's only got one more year? Or
He's got one more year. They
after
both
this?
have one more year. They
both
each
have one more year
after this year.
You can't you can't eat the money. If you could come out even dollar value wise somehow, all right, I'll entertain it. Because he can play center. But I'm not yippee.
I'm
Excited.
You would do it, Gager?
Yeah. I throw in Frederic.
I'd fire it. Yeah. I'd throw a fresh.
And
Throw in Frederic.
for most of it, I'm just want the goal song back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted back. I don't even care. I don't even know if Strome's decent anymore. But I want that song to be played again. All right. At the Olympics, the gold medal is Canada's to lose. Hired or fired?
Fire it. Fire it. It's not like
bold statement, right?
is a bold statement. The U.S. is good. They're going to have a really good team. The Finns and Swedes are going to be solid. The U.S. is the biggest threat. They're
disrespectful to Tomasek and his Czechia mates.
That's what he was a spy. He was a spy in the NHL, seeing how they play.
That's what he was doing. Yeah. No, it's not theirs to lose. They should absolutely be in the mix. It'd be very disappointing if they weren't. But it's not theirs to lose. US is too good. to just cleanly say it should be all Canada.
Hey, Gager.
Yeah, I agree with Cass. Fire it. There's too many other good teams.
If Canada had all of their players available to them, they'd still win the World Juniors every single year, and nobody would be complaining about anything. Hire it or fire it.
I'm going to fire it.
Yeah?
You never know. Like,
But you imagine if they had Celebrini and Matt
yeah,
Schaefer
but we say
this
that every year, and they
I know.
sometimes win.
Yeah, that's true. They do win.
So
Yeah.
would they be a better team? Yes. How many other players could be released from their teams too? Right? There's
a few.
There's a
yeah.
few. I think usually Canada, if you could put together their roster on paper, it would look like, oh, geez. Like, I mean, if you add Bedard, Celebrini, and Schaefer, I mean, I think they probably win.
Yeah.
But everyone gets a little bit better if everyone's released too. So, and the best player doesn't win; the best team wins.
Well, there you go. That's a good one. All right. And how about this one, just for funsies here? 12 chicken wings is the right amount of chicken wings. Hired or fired?
Boneless or bone in?
Let's go bone in.
Fire it. 15.
Yeah,
15,
I'm gonna fire too. I go 15. Right.
Yeah.
That's solid. I hate when you get like 8. Like,
Yeah.
and they're skinny. Ugh, that sucks.
You get, we go to the keg a lot in Calgary, and you get like the keg, the wings that they have there.
Big.
Yeah, they're big, they're delicious, but there's like 5 of them.
Oh, that's.
And you're like,
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's a good thing too.
I'd say, I think 15 is a wheelhouse cast, so that's a good number right there.
Well, it's a good number to share too, right?
Yeah, like if you could share 15.
Because usually with wings, like,
You could take 15 down on your own too.
yeah, I'll say one of the saddest days when Hooters left, because I was one of the only guys that went there for the wings because they were good. And the hot and spicy garlic breaded, oh man, they were the best.
My buddy Boom was a huge
Was he?
Hooters guy. He would come visit when I lived here, like before I met Tam and moved here, when I was living here in like 05
yeah.
and 06 or 04 and 05 or whatever it was. He would fly in or he'd drive in from Lloyd. And as soon as he'd get here, he'd be like, let's go. Hooters at the mall. So actually, when we were at first round on Saturday, I looked at Tam. I said, this used to be Boom's spot.
Yeah.
And Tam was like, Hooters, right? I was like, oh, he loved it. There was like a ham sandwich there or something that he just loved to crush.
I think I only ever got the wings. I remember, man, I took my son and his friend there when they were like 9.
Did they have the wings?
Yeah, they did.
Nice.
You know who loved Hooters too? Jason Bond Sr.
Really?
Yeah, you'd go to a place on the road. He goes, Hooters? Like he had
All the
to go-
time.
All the time. Yeah. He loved the, I don't know why.
Big wing guy. All right. Cass, what's the prediction tonight? Do they roll the Preds? Get back on track here?
Preds have been playing pretty good. Preds are 7-3 in their last 10.
Yeah, they're playing
picking up
better
some
than they were earlier in the year. Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen 3. I think they have a better game. I think they still squeak it out. I think they do win, but I don't think it's a perfect game. Like I think it's a step in the right direction. Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction, but not all the way there.
Gager?
I think it starts pretty even, but the Oilers will roll.
They'll roll in the end.
5-2.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking like 5-1, 5-2 theirs as well. What's coming up on EST afternoons, you guys?
I don't have it.
Okay, I got it, guys. I got it.
Thank God
There are
for
a couple-
Zach.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
A couple great guests.
Knows his job.
Yeah. Knows his role.
Yep. A couple great guests. Alex Donaire from the Tennessean will be checking in to give a Predators perspective on everything. And of course, the guys will go over the lineup changes
Yep.
and everything. Gager and Hernan will have a lot to say about the scratches to Mangiapane and Frederic, as well as Kapanen returning to the lineup. An exciting night, should be for sure. And then they'll look ahead to a big matchup between the Steelers and Houston Texans that goes down on Monday. Jim Wexel from Steel City Insider checks
All right.
in for that.
A little NHL, a lot of NHL, a little bit of NFL sprinkled in there as well, and lots of laughs and entertainment with EST Afternoons coming up here with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. Cass, good stuff, buddy. We'll check in with you on Thursday for Matt Kassian and Joaquin Gage. I'm Dustin Nielson. 2 Guys and Goalies presented to you by GS Construction. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock on The Nielson Show. Until then, take it easy.